Welcome to the 2013 EIA-860 Internet Data Collection screen. This tutorial will cover the basics of how to view and navigate the survey interface. From the main screen, you can access either the 860 Annual Survey here or the 860 Monthly Survey by clicking here. For purposes of this video, we will enter the Annual Survey. From this screen, you first must select the survey year you wish to access. If you have your entity ID available, you can enter it in the box to the right and press Enter. You can also select the entities for which you report from the drop-down. If you are missing an entity, please contact the survey support team at EIA-860@eia.gov. Once you have selected the proper survey, click EIA-860 Forms to enter the survey. The screen will bring you to Schedule 1, which has the contact and operator information. If you wish to update the contact information, email the request to EIA-860@eia.gov. You can navigate the different schedules of the survey by the tabs near the top of the screen. Different facilities may have different schedules available, and you will only be able to access schedules that are not grayed out. To change facility selection, you will have to select Schedule 2. From here, you can use the scroll bar to the right to select facilities under the operator. Notice, when a new plant is selected, survey schedules will open or close accordingly. Schedule 3 will contain the generator information for the selected facility. This schedule is divided into 3 sections, A, B, and C. Schedule 3A has basic generator identification information, including generator status, while 3B collects additional data for generators with an operational status, and 3C collects data for generators that are not yet operational. Up to 3 generators can be viewed at a single time. You must use the scroll bar here in order to view additional generators. The generator that is highlighted in 3A will also be the generator selected in 3B or 3C. You can also scroll through the generators in 3B and 3C using the Previous and Next Gen ID buttons. You can also switch between plants in Schedule 3 by using the Next and Previous Facility buttons here. If you wish to add a generator, go to 3A and select the Add Generator button. A new blank column will populate to the right. You must enter a generator ID that is a maximum of 5 characters. Take care in this selection, as once you enter the generator ID, it cannot be changed. The generator will populate either 3B or 3C based on the status. Status codes must be updated in 3B and 3C. If you wish to change a status that will cause it to move schedules, use the Changed to Proposed button in 3B or the Changed to Existing button in 3C. Take time to review and complete all applicable fields, as some questions have been removed, while several new questions have been added. You can save your work at any time by selecting Save. Schedule 4 collects ownership information. On line 4 in Schedule 3A, you have 3 options to select for ownership. If you select Single, you will not have to complete Schedule 4. If you select Joint or Wholly Owned, this means there is an owner that is different from the operator listed in Schedule 1, and you will need to provide their information. Click on the List Owner Names button to populate Open a list to search for the owner. If you do not find the owner, contact the EIA to create a record for the owner. Ownership information is generator specific, so make sure you have the appropriate generator selected in Schedule 3A before completing the schedule. You can view which generator and plan you're completing in this information for near the top here. Schedule 5A and B collect generator construction cost information for generators that became commercially operational during or under construction, finishing testing or receiving permits and regulatory approvals during the service cycle year. Complete all applicable fields. Schedule 6A contains boiler equipment associations. Again, use the scroll bar to select the appropriate boiler and populate the associated equipment IDs accordingly. These equipment IDs will populate in subsequent schedules that collect their information. Make sure all IDs are added here before moving on to additional schedules. To create a new boiler, select Create New Record near the top of the screen. To remove a boiler, select Remove Record. Records should only be removed if entered in error. Do not remove retired boilers or change boiler IDs. To add and remove equipment IDs, you must click in the cell you wish to add an ID for and then type in the new ID. This ID should populate in subsequent schedules. To remove the equipment ID, select the cell of the ID you wish to remove and then select Remove Record near the top. Schedule 6A Continued is a new part that collects additional information about the environmental equipment type and the configurations of the equipment across the system IDs. The matrix is used to visualize equipment IDs that may have dual environmental controls. For example, here, JB for jet bubbling reactor is a technology used in both the particulate and sulfur control system IDs. Multiple equipment types can be used under a system ID. The sulfur control system, FGD1, is comprised of both a jet bubbling reactor as well as a dry sorbent injection. Take care to reconcile 6A and 6A Continued so all IDs are properly listed as 6A Continued must be maintained manually at this time. Schedule B contains boiler regulatory emissions controls and compliance strategies, while 6C contains boiler design data. The scroll bar near the top is used to select the appropriate boiler, the same as with the generators in Schedule 3. Schedule 6D contains cooling system information. 6E contains flue gas particulate collector information. 6F contains flue gas desulfurization unit information. And 6G contains stack and flue information. The same scroll bar is available at the top to select the appropriate equipment IDs. Schedule 7 is available for comments. Some survey questions will prompt you to provide a comment in the schedule. Please provide the schedule number, part, and line for the data point the comment is addressing. Even if a comment is not prompted by the survey and you believe there is cause to leave a comment, please do so. The last tab contains the error log. When you submit your survey, if there is a data value that appears to be incorrect, a survey edit error will fire. The edit error displays the facility ID, generator, or equipment ID, as well as the schedule and line of the data issue. You can either go back and correct the data to make the edit disappear, or leave an override comment by clicking on the override checkbox here. A box will open up where you leave a comment explaining why the data is correct. Please provide as much information as possible, since all edits are reviewed by an analyst, and better answers will decrease the likelihood that the EIA will need to contact you for further clarification. Once the override comment is entered, press Save. After all edit errors have been reviewed and have an override comment, you will be able to submit the survey by clicking the red Submit button in the top left-hand corner. When you are done, you can select Submit. To obtain a PDF version of the survey for your records, select Print at the top. This will open up in a new window, so make sure your pop-up blocker settings are allowing it to open. If you have additional questions or issues with submitting the survey, please email your inquiry to EIA-860@eia.gov. This concludes the survey video. Thank you for submitting the EIA-860 survey.